So today I thought I'd just kind of give my thoughts on my Jeep after owning it for almost 4.5 years. Would I do it again? Would I buy another one? So I thought I'd start off with just kind of some of the things that I've experienced with the Jeep, you know, as far as things that need to be repaired or whatever. I bought my Jeep in 2018 of August. I ordered it in, it came in about, it actually came in pretty quick. They were telling me at the time, everybody was buying them and they were saying it'd be 13, I think it was like 12 or 13 weeks. And it ended up coming in I think just under 4 weeks. So I must have been getting caught up on the backlog. But anyway, so I picked it up in August of 2018. Next day I ordered the lift, tires, wheels, all that. And got them, and it took about a month to get all that stuff in and then get it installed. So drove it, I think that winter, probably 4 or 5 months later. The first problem that came in, which was a pretty minor issue, was the fact that on the back window you have that heating element or whatever that kind of defrost the frost. It quit working. So ended up being that the solder of the stuff that hooks to the window that heats all that had broke. So they fixed that. It was under warranty, no problems, and it's worked ever since. Haven't had any problems since. So if we fast forward from 2018 of August to about 2019, I think it was August, right at the beginning of August, was the second thing that I had kind of go wrong with the Jeep. We were actually on a pretty long, well, it wasn't really long, but it was kind of like an overland trip. So we were, a couple nights, we covered a lot of ground. We went kind of up, the first day we drove from home, up through Cascade, back over to Warm Lake, and then up to Yellow Pine. And we spent the night at Yellow Pine. It was just me and my son. Spent the night there, then the next day, kind of looked around a little bit. And the next day we went from there up past Yellow Pine, up past Big Bear, or Big Creek, and then kind of over the top of the mountain and kind of back down towards the South Fork of the Salmon. So it was pretty remote. We were way back in there. I mean, we didn't see much of anybody. But anyway, as we're coming down, working our way back down to the South Fork of the Salmon, I started getting a clicking in the front axle. I actually had it in low 4-wheel drive because of the descent, just trying to keep it, you know, so it was geared down enough it wasn't trying to run away on me. Which I had a pretty good idea what it was because I'd actually experienced that in one of my pickups. Figured it was an axle U-joint, and so anyway, we made it out. We actually made it over to the camp spot, spent the night, and then headed out the next day. Took it in, and that's what it was. It was a axle U-joint, which was covered under warranty. So they took care of that, and we're back on our way. But anyway, and then it was not long after that I actually did the next big build where I put 1-tons and all the stuff that you know, that 40-inch tires and all that stuff. But anyway, so swapped out a lot of well, pretty much all the suspension. Went to coilovers, everything. But anyway, so I think it was about a year after that. So 2 years into owning it, I was driving it, and all of a sudden it would just, the heat, you know, shows the temperature of the engine, would just clear up almost to the red. And then you'd let up and it'd go right back down. So I was like, well, something's not right. So anyway, I made an appointment, I took it in there, and it had a head gasket leak. So luckily I wasn't out of warranty yet, so they replaced that head gasket. And of course I haven't had any problems since. And I even asked them what caused that, and they're like, well, nothing you did. Just, I don't know, sounds like sometimes they have that problem. But anyway, got that fixed. Haven't had a problem with that since. So I guess, and then the only other things, I know everybody talks about how bad the windows are on the Jeeps. Believe it or not, 4.5 years later, I've got the original window in it. I've got, about a year into it, I had a rock chip come off of a vehicle in front of me, that hit on the passenger side right at the top, and that cracked straight down. And that's the only crack I've gotten. It's clear on the far side, so it really hasn't bothered me. And I figured, you know, if I change it, it's probably gonna break anyway. So, but I've had pretty good luck with it. It's just that one crack. There's a couple little chips, but Nothing, I mean, amazing enough, it's still original window. The other thing that people talk a lot about is like death wobble, and I never had that problem. Of course, I changed some stuff right off, and then of course a year into it, I changed everything. So that's probably why. So up to this point, I've never had a problem with you know, death wobble or any of that. And so anyway, I think that's about. Oh, I guess, which is a normal wear out problem. The other problem, one of the other things they have you hear about a lot is this battery system where you've got that start-stop battery, the little one. Mine made it about 3 years, and then it was having problems. Batteries weren't holding charge. So I wanted to change to a dual battery system, so I just went ahead and changed it at that time. And of course, I haven't had any problems. That's been probably a couple years ago. Oh, it's probably a little over 2 years ago. But anyway, so that's really about the only things that I've had, you know, any issues with. One of the other things you hear a lot about is electronics, and there's been some glitches in the electronics, mostly the radio. Sometimes I mean, it doesn't do it all the time. You'll have a spot where it'll do it 2 or 3 times, and then it'll go a long time, won't do it. But you'll be driving along, and the whole thing will just shut down, and then it kind of like it's rebooting, and then it's fine. And it'll do that off and on, and then it doesn't do it for a long time. And it's other little things that something crops up, but you turn the Jeep off on, and it's fine. But so anyway, that's kind of the only things that I've really, you know, experienced as far as problems, which nothing major, and everything was covered under warranty. The only one that was a little more major was the head gasket leak, but caught it early, so it didn't cause any damage. And so that kind of covers all that. So anyway, would I do it all over? Would I buy another Jeep or buy this and over and do it again? My answer is absolutely. I love this Jeep. Has been so much fun, and really minor issues. You know, I've owned a lot of new vehicles over the years, and you always have a little thing here and there. I mean, pretty much every vehicle I've had, little stuff like some of the stuff that I've had here. So I don't see that it's any less reliable than anything else I've ever owned, and it's done really well for me. But the best part about it is just how capable it is. I mean, it may not have as good a road manners as some of the other vehicles, which it's still really good, but it's a little more square, so you get a little more wind noise. But the capability is just, it's amazing how good they are. Even stock, they do, especially with the Rubicon package, it does very well. And then when I went to 37s, it just made it that much more capable. That's the thing that's cool about Jeep is you change a few things and it's just that much better. And then of course now where I'm at now, it's crazy how capable it is. I mean, we go places that, I've had a lot of pickups, and not all of them been lifted, but quite a few of them, and with bigger tires and stuff, and places where I would get to a point where I'm like, okay, done, not going any further, especially like in snow. I don't even think twice with the Jeep. You just keep going. In fact, you're not even getting anything that's hard at that point. That's just starting to get fun. And so, yeah, just super capable. And then you do a few things to them and they're just that much more capable and that much more fun. So honestly, this is the most fun vehicle I've ever owned. I mean, the places that I've been able to go with this, the places that I will yet go with it, it's awesome. This is the stuff I like doing. I love being outdoors. I love being out, seeing new things, going back to places I've really enjoyed. It's what I like doing. And this makes it, possible to just go pretty much anywhere I want to go, really. And so, yeah, it's no regrets at all. I think it's something, I've always wanted a Jeep for years, but the business I've got, I always had a pickup and stuff, but finally got to the point where I went ahead and bought one, and yeah, I wish I'd done it sooner. I mean, my brother had them, so we always went out in his, and we did a lot of stuff, and his was a TJ. But yeah, it's fun. I really, really, really have enjoyed having it. And so, yeah, I'd do it again, without a doubt. And you can kind of build it to the way that works for you, whether you're just totally overlanding or rock crawler. I like doing both, so mine's kind of built so I can do both. But no, it was I've really enjoyed having the Jeep. That's kind of my thoughts on owning a Jeep. But as you can see, it's hard to get anywhere right now. This is the time of year where you get off the pavement and you get muddy. And I don't like the mud, but you know, if you want to go enjoy the outdoors and do some of this, you end up getting a little bit muddy out here and there. I try to stay out of it the best I can. If it's all frozen, not a big deal, but right now it's not frozen. It's pretty warm right now. It's supposed to get really cold next week, but so it's a little muddy. Not everything's not muddy, but there's enough here and there that, yeah, as you can tell, my Jeep's kind of muddy. So now I get to go clean it. But anyway, hope that gives you some ideas of my thoughts on it. And man, if you're considering one, if you like doing this kind of stuff, I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, it's been an awesome rig for me, and look forward to more trips and more fun. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll see you on the next video.